Hi, welcome back to the Bennington Line. This is episode number 2 and this time round we are laying track. So as you can see, I've got a bit of track laid. I've also painted probably a third of the first board, this left side should I say. I have been through the track plan about 7 times. It has changed constantly. I've posted it on a couple of Facebook groups for some tips and advice. Few mistakes in the first layout, lots of points in the first layout, a couple of short circuit areas in the first, second, probably third layout, and no doubt there'll be more problems when we get around to the electrics at a later date. But as you can see, nothing's pinned down at the moment, and it's still very, very loose because today I'm hoping to get some cork track bed that I bought laid down. So the cork bed is nothing special. It's a no-name brandy stuff. It's cork bed basically. It came from a local model shop, and today I'm hoping to get what will be the station terminus shopping in commercial area laid with track bed and possibly some track glue to it, although I don't know if I'm quite ready to commit to it yet, but we'll see. The other thing you might notice with some of the track is some of it has ballast on it already, some of it doesn't. A lot of it is second hand. I got a lot of stuff gifted when I did my original layout from a family friend, so I shall be making use of as much of that as possible just to save a few pennies. And the other thing you might notice is the little loco. I bought it last year second hand off eBay. It doesn't run great, and at the moment it's not running at all because I think I might have shorted it out or something, but we'll investigate that at a later date. At the moment I'm just using it to test that it can go around the curves across the points, etc. But I will show you what I've sort of settled on for a track plan, and then we'll get to marking out and laying some cork bed, I think. If you remember from the last episode, I went on Scarm and showed you what I'd come up with initially. There was a lot of, not errors, I mean, you know, I'm completely new to this, so there's going to be errors, but things that wouldn't necessarily be natural if it was a real world railway, and I want to keep it semi-realistic in terms of the layout of the tracks and things. As I said earlier, there were a lot of points. Points are expensive, and by doing it this way, I've reduced a considerable lot of them. I've also changed up the terminus commercial area a bit. I've added a small fiddle yard, as you can see on what will be the industrial bit here. I've added a bit of a sidings shunting area for the industrial area, and given myself plenty of space for what will be known as Little Bennington in this area here, and this will be, I'm going to call this area Greater Bennington. So the plan is to have it as like a cityscape commercial retail area going into a countryside slash, I'll get my hand out of the way, slash small village town kind of area, and then coming down into what will be the fiddle yard and an industrial zone down here. But that gives you a general idea of what I'm going for. And yeah, let's on to the next bit. Right, so while the glue, the PVA and the cork bed is drying, I thought I'd just give you a quick rundown of like my idea for this end of the track. As you can see, I've got a double tunnel going there. The plan is to have a road going across the top here that maybe sweeps around and comes down. And then obviously this is going to be a tunnel, not just a bridge. All of this area behind is going to be built up, and on the top of here, sorry, and sort of around that corner is going to be the commercial area, the retail area. So there's going to be low relief shops sort of showing up there, and maybe a pedestrianised area here. So this is actually going to be, this part of the track is actually going to be covered. Excuse me. Now I can't decide whether to carry the wall all the way across and just have it bricked off and raised up. Probably I'm going to go with that, or some sort of sloping embankment-y kind of deal. Not 100% sure. More inclined to just brick it off as it was. But what I've built there is actually a Metcalf kit. Again, it was gifted to me along with a few others from my family friend who gave me all the tracking stuff. He was having a good old clear out. I've got a station platform and a couple of other bits and bats. And then I plan on having probably some sort of main station in front here with access from above and what have you, and steps going down and then platforms. This one's just like a mini siding, but that's where we're at so far. And that's my plans for it. Obviously, if it changes, I'll tell you. If you think it looks stupid, tell me. Right, so as you can see, I've got a bit of cork bed down, and there's a few other bits on the track that you might notice, specifically all those bright red bits of plastic. I've been busy with a 3D printer, and rather than paying stupid money, or what I believe to be stupid money for the track setter pieces, I decided to see if I could print my own. Turns out you can, and they work pretty well. It's currently holding a bit of flex track. It's not glued down or anything, it's just as a rough guide at the moment, but I think they're going to work. They need a little bit of refinement, but that's not an issue. I can figure that out further down the line when we actually come to laying track. The other thing you might notice is all of the track that's everywhere. So when I pulled up the track last time, moved the track last time, it kind of got separated and stuff, and then I started tinkering with it, trying to get a better flow of track. Because I was worried that once I started putting it down, that any trains or cars that went along it would probably derail, because it was there's a lot of points and a lot of sharp dog legs in the bends and stuff from here to here. It was all horrible. So I had a tinker with it, and I think I've come up with a better idea, but it means repositioning this bit slightly straighter. Originally this was just going to be a sort of a siding and a dead end, sort of a parking area, if you will. That's not going to be the case anymore. That's going to be this line, the outer loop, whatever you want to call it, is going to come and join in at this point here. The station's going to be here. It gives us more room for scenery in this area. This is all going to be under a tunnel anyway, so it doesn't matter too much. And then, like I said before, there's going to be like a retail area on top. I've got to figure out where to put the tunnel and stuff, but what I'll do is I'll get this moved to where I want it positioned, and I'll get the track on to show you what I mean properly. I'll get some more cork bed stuck down at the back, and then once all that's dry, we might actually be ready. I'm not going to glue the track down, but we might be ready to sort of temporarily, I don't know if you can see that on the camera. I've got some pins. They're not proper track pins, they're just, I think they're sewing pins or something. But they're really good for just holding the track in place to get an idea of where it needs to sit. So I shall get this moved, get some cork bed stuck down on that bit, and then start pinning track roughly where I think it's going to be stuck. And then we'll go from there. Okay, so that's pretty much all the cork bed laid apart from one strip. I wanted to focus on the painted bit. I think I said that in the last video. Get the cork bed down, get the track on this bit, maybe start doing some scenery work on here before we move down. And I don't want to get too far ahead of myself and have loads of unfinished bits. Excuse me. But now we're going to put the first bit of track down. Exciting times. I wouldn't get too excited because the first bit of track that's going down is this little fella here. Where is he? There he is. A little ST3 kind of bend, I think it is. I'm not entirely sure. But the reason I'm putting this down first is because that will help me. It's going there and it will help me line up the flex track for the outer curve and the final position of these 3 points here. I'm going to do it with PVA glue, which you can see I've got prepped and ready. So I'm going to slather some of this on, roughly where I'm going to stick this, and we're going to stick it down. I'm going to put some weights on it, and then I'm going to come back tomorrow, because it's like 9:30 on a Saturday night. It's currently -2 outside and about 4 degrees in my garage. And then tomorrow we can start working out how that's going to work, how the curve's going to work and everything else like that. So I don't know if I need more than that or not. A bit more. It'll all dry. And ballast will cover up all the holes, which is why I'm not bothered about all the gaps and stuff in the cork. But that wants to sit, I think, roughly there. First track laid. Right, as you can see, we've got a bunch of track stuck down. I've got my points not roughly, where I want them. I've had to tweak it a little bit from what you saw earlier. I also found that the PVA glue, generic PVA glue, wasn't really sticking it and holding it. I left it a good few hours and it just wasn't going dry. Well, it was drying, but it wasn't holding the track. So I've pulled it up, cleaned off the PVA and put some copy decks down. Don't know whether that's going to be any better with the temperatures because it's so damn cold. It's probably not the best time of year to be laying track, but hey ho. That's going to be it for this video. I know we've not got a lot done. It's not been the best video, but it will get more interesting as the layout progresses. For the next one, I'm going to hopefully get this flex track sorted so we can get down to where the cork bed ends over the far side. I'm going to look at starting a bit of scenery here with the station. I think I mentioned that earlier in the video. I'm thinking I might try something that I've seen on Everard Junction's channel from years ago, where he laid his own concrete using all-purpose filler. So we might give that a go and have a concrete platform here, and then a concrete platform somewhere else. Probably this side and maybe something in between, but if that's the case, then this needs to branch away. We'll see. I'm not quite sure what we're going to do yet. It might be, we'll see. I'm not sure, I'll be honest, I don't know. Things might change before the next video. I'm already contemplating changing this point out for a single bend, as I look at it sort of like that, so that I can then have an island in the middle. But if I do that, I don't need the island in the middle, and you get my point. Something for me to ponder, and feel free to leave your opinions and thoughts in the comments below. As always, thank you so much for watching. If you made it this far, you're a superstar. Do us a favour, give it a like, hit the subscribe button if you want to see how I actually get on, and if I actually do anything of interest in the next video. Who knows? As always, take care, thank you, and goodbye.